Man, does it ever feel good to be back. I know that I wasn't really gone for that long, but I just love getting back to training, especially after a successful meet. I'm still super pumped about how everything went on Saturday. This is a Tuesday workout. Actually, on Sunday, when I was home, I did do a little bit of very light front squatting and some pull-ups just to get some blood moving around a little bit. I've found personally that if I take too much time off or if I just sit around and do nothing, that I detrain really quickly. I think that comes with the territory of the high frequency, high volume approach that I generally like to take, and so I am all about getting back to the work and setting my sights towards my next set of goals. Um, I don't really have another meet picked out just yet. I'm still trying to figure out some of the details about some stuff that's going on in my life right now. I am not completely sure what my moving situation is going to be, but in the near future, I'm going to have to be finding a new place, and just things are going to have to revolve more around that than about ideal situations for picking a meet and then getting another solid prep into it. But I do plan on competing much sooner than it was last time. Last time I took 11 months in between competitions, and that is not going to be the case. I think it was what I needed at that time, and I think now a better option for me is going to be to compete in the not too distant future, make some good progress, bump the total up a little bit, make some, I came away with a lot of things that I learned from, and I have some good information moving forward, and I'm going to be making some changes in the training, but overall I was very happy, and I am really excited to get back to that again. So you might notice that this isn't like some putsy little deload type session of no weight and no volume at all. I wanted to make sure it was a serious training session, and the biggest difference was I changed a couple of my training protocols. So for the next week or two, I'm going to be using time caps as my volume regulation. I'm using RPE systems as my intensity regulation that keeps me from going too crazy on anything. And the sessions really take care of themselves as far as the pre-planning. I pick my exercises, I pick my time caps, and my goal kind of intensities with the RPE, and then I just sort of unleash myself on the workout. So what you're seeing right now, all the squatting was done in 30 minutes. I put a timer with 30 minutes. As soon as I put 135 on the bar, did my first rep, it was going, and I said I was going to work up to a triple at an 8, and then I was going to repeat that triple until it became a 9, so no load drop, just going to be doing a repeat system there, and I worked up. I did 525 for my first triple. It felt too easy. That was around 80% of my meet lift, and so I ended up going up to about 85% and hitting 3 triples there because the first one was around an 8 and the third one was getting closer to a 9, but then my 30 minutes timed out. Squats usually are one of the slower moving lifts for me as far as time that it takes to train it, and so 30 minutes is actually pretty quick when you include all the warm-up sets and the work I have to do to get up to that point. So I was happy with the volume, still 12 working reps in that very short time frame. I think that my work capacity and my conditioning is going to improve in the next couple of weeks as a result of this. Moved on to the bench press, same idea, except I was going to allow myself one load drop after I reached the goal RPE, so I worked up 315, felt too easy, so I put 335 on. That again is around 85 or 86%, and I ended up hitting 3 triples once again from an 8 to a 9 on the spectrum. Dropped back down my one load drop, and I think I completed another 3 triples here at 315 for a total of 21 working reps, and I did that all in 26 minutes. So I reached a 9 on my last 315 set before time hit the 30, and I timed myself out, so I called it good there and decided to move on to the next movement. One of the things that's going to be different is, as I am now technically in the beginning, my transition phase, or a little bit of an off season, however short or long it may end up being, there is less specificity that is called for. I am going to do more variations of the movements. I'm going to do more accessory type things. And so I used a couple of different methods that I like to put into my programming. That first one was an AMSAP, as many sets as possible. I put 10 minutes on the clock, 275 on the bar, and I told myself, all right, you're going to do as many sets of 5 as you can, close grip, in that time frame. I did, and then the next time I work with that kind of an idea, I'll try to beat that number, and it gives me something. Again, it regulates itself because of the time cap, and you can move as quickly or as slowly as you feel like you can recover, and it's a good way to limit yourself from overdoing the volume. Afterwards, I put in some more front squats. I think that quad development and kind of the way that my hips like to shoot back on me really hard on most of my heavy squat sets will benefit from a stronger set of quads and a little bit tighter upper back, which is two things that the front squat really does target. And I'm not ready to start putting real weight on there because my positioning is still really poor, and I need to fix that before I'm ready to pursue increased loads. So I only did 7 minutes of sets of 5 on the front squat, and I worked up to 225 for just 2 sets of 5, really focusing on trying to keep myself consistent in those positions and train it seriously, even though it's not a very heavily loaded weight. And it wasn't physically very difficult for me. It was just really tough to stay in a good position, and I'll be working on that in the next couple of weeks. Finished up with my deadlift, or not my deadlifts, that's going to be on Thursday. Finished up with some pull-ups. Again, 7 minutes, as many sets as possible at an AMRAP system. So I did 10, 8, 6, and 7. I think I rushed it way too much on the first 3 sets, just like I did with the close grip bench. And yeah, so that's what this session looked like. I have a couple of other things that are going to be coming in. A lot more variation comes in on my Saturday and Sunday workouts. The Tuesday and Thursday are still going to be primarily the competitive movements performed in a competitive range of intensity or rep ranges, as far as trying to stay specific with that loading to keep it heavier and more legitimate. I don't want to be doing a lot of low intensity stuff because then the reps get lazy and the form breaks down and I start to lose those motor patterns. So I want to stay pretty specific on Tuesdays and Thursdays, at least with the core movements. I can do variations afterwards, and then Saturday and Sunday are going to be a lot more variation. Still not moving as much away as some people might want to, but I am a powerlifter for a reason. I love the squat, the bench, and the deadlift, and I have no problem, as many of you know, with just keeping my programming all around that. So any branching off is new and different for me, and I'm fine with that. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Have a great night. Bye.